Hello, everyone. My name is Sarabi. I am your silver consultant here with Archer and Evolution Travel. And today we're going to talk about how you can build a package on Travefy. Okay, so I have a client that is looking to do a cruise to Orlando within the next month. So what I'm going to do is not only get her some flights, since they're going to be flying from different places, I'm gonna give her the flights, a hotel stay for before and after, and then a cruise as well. So not only are we doing like a kind of piece by piece kind of package, what we're gonna be doing as well is utilizing some of our wholesale resources. So that way you can also gain some kind of instant commission from this booking as well. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and start here. I'm gonna share my screen. So I use Travefy. Okay, so as you can see, I have a couple on here. This is my newer account that I've started with them. And basically what you're gonna go in is new trip, okay? For those of you that aren't familiar with Travefy, basically it's a tool for us to be able to create, itineraries and proposals. You can hold your contacts in here, the library, like say if you want to save some of your content that you made your itineraries and built them off of with, you can do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new trip. And because this is just like a quote, I'm going to click on the proposal. If you already have one, you can always switch from proposal to itinerary once they actually, book with you and confirm their trip. So as you see here, she already asked for one for Nashville. So now they're looking to do a cruise option here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this. I'm going to change this to, I like to call these something like kind of cool to make them, feel excited about their trip, right? Especially when you're trying to get them to confirm their booking. You want it to sound exciting. I'm going to select the start date here. I'm not going to include the pricing yet because obviously I haven't put that on there and I haven't calculated everything on there yet. So I'm going to leave all that blank and then I'm going to hit save changes. And then I'm going to also change this cover photo to something, Caribbean like. Because I do want to note, let me see here. We'll do this. That's, cuts it off. Hold on. Let's do a different one. All right, we'll do that one. Uh-oh. Refresh. While that's loading, I'm going to go ahead on this side here. It says information and documents. You can actually create things. So when it comes to their flights, you can put their boarding passes on here, or if like they have transfers or something, you can put their documents here if you need to, or just information and hotel advisories about where they're staying. Obviously, I has the first day on there. I'm going to click on new day until May 1st because that's when they're going to go. And don't know why that's not loading. So I'm going to try this one more time, but if it doesn't work, I'm not going to focus on it too much because I do want to make sure we get through everything. Okay, that's fine. It's not working right now, but you guys get the idea. You can customize the cover photo, make it look pretty. Okay, so I have my dates listed. Now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the research. Okay, so first I'm going to look for the cruise. Because you want to center everything around that. Okay, you don't want to start with your flights because you have to make sure that when they're coming in and they're actually going through that they're not going to miss their boarding on the ship. Okay, so I'm using Carnival with this one, mainly because with the atmosphere and with me qualifying them, Carnival was the best option for their trip. So I'm going to go to booking. individual stateroom. And that's why it's really important to qualify your client ahead of time. So that way, you know, you're not spending so much time trying to, you know, figure out which vendor that you want to use, just based off of, you know, listening to what they want, listening to the atmosphere, their travel style. It's going to tell you, okay, this is the kind of vendor that you want to use for your trip. And you don't have to worry about, you know, figuring out where to go for that. Okay. So that's why qualifying is very important. So this is going to be the date that they're going. And then they're going to be departing from here. And then we're going to keep it to a short. So I'm gonna search the sailings, and then I'm gonna go based off of 4 people. So I already know the dates of when they're going. This is the date that they're leaving at. So perfect, same kind of date here. I'm gonna click on this sailing. And then I'm gonna go ahead and see which rate code is the best for them. I'm looking at this here, offers capacity controlled. Guests may select a stateroom, but minimum purchase. Okay. The offer does not apply to Carnival. Okay. Offer on new bookings made through March to. Okay, perfect. Upgrades are automatically assigned at the time of booking and are based on availability. Okay, that's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So I'm just going to click on the interior. And even if you already know and you're looking at the prices, I still like to know what they're getting with the rate code, because when you're talking to your clients, you want to, you know, have that posture that you know what you're talking about. And then, you know, you can highlight some of the amenities when you're discussing, you know, what's in their package, what's included. So that way they know if something like, say they get to their the port and everything, and then they get like a super upgrade. Yeah, that's really cool. But you know, that's something that you want to have that conversation with them. Just knowing based off of, again, qualifying them, I'm sticking with the interior. And then for here, I'm just going to go on the quick quote because I don't necessarily need to go through everything else. I'm going to add all of the travel protection as well as all the gratuities. So that way you start with a bigger number and then you can go backwards. I always mention or just include this in the price anyway, because you want to make sure that they have their protection. And then when it comes to gratuities, that will be a conversation where you say, hey, you know, I have the gratuities added in on the pricing. So that way you don't have to worry about a bill when you're leaving your vacation. It's already taken care of. So that's a good way that you can explain why you have that gratuities on there. And because this sailing is next month, there is no deposit option. So this is due at the time of booking. And from what it looks like, the due date is tomorrow. So you're not even able to, I'm not able to hold this for like, you know, the normal like 72-hour time spot. They have to actually pay this tomorrow. So I'm going to leave this on this page here. But if you're ever emailing something to your client as well, there's a guest view and you can do the same thing and email it here, enter a note, and then it'll email that quote to them. So let me see here. I'm going to go back to Travefy here. And I'm going to click on new event, cruise. This is Carnival. What was the ship? Oops. It's okay. Carnival Liberty, the 28th through the 1st. Okay. And this is really cool. It has all the sailings that are already with that ship associated with the line. So you click on here, get itinerary. Just confirm that this is the correct one. So arrive at Bimini. This one, oh man. Yep, fun day at sea, arrive at Bimini and come back. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to add to my itinerary. and it fills it in for you. Okay, so it has all the details of the cruise. You don't have to like fill anything in here. It just does it automatically for you. It has the 30 the when they're arriving to Bimini, the arrival date, the departure time, and then it has the arrival for Florida as well. The only thing it doesn't put on there is a fun day at sea. So what I do here is just info, and then I'll just put fun day at sea. So that way they know that they're just not falling off the face of the earth, right? Fun day at sea, and hit done. All right, that way that there's something there, they know that they can do something on that day. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and search for the flights. So now I know when they're going to be leaving and docking out. I can actually start planning for the hotel stay. And actually, you know, with this one, I won't need a hotel stay because the flight that they're taking to come in is going to be on the same day that they're arriving. So I actually won't need a hotel. I just need flights for this. Now, if you're ever dealing with a client, you always want to make sure you recommend having a day before and a day after type of situation when it comes to this, because uh you know, when they're flying and they're coming in, you want to make sure they have enough time to get to the port. However, with this client, you know, they have a set amount of time that they already took off, so they won't actually be able to do the day before and the day after type of thing. So that's why having it's picked perfectly will be like one of those things that's going to be really helpful for them. So she is gonna be leaving from Newark, and MCO is Orlando, and it's gonna be 1 this time, not 3, because the rest of the people, they're already in Orlando, so they can just drive to the port, but she's coming from Newark, so she has to actually fly in. All right, so let me revisit these times here. So 3:30 is when it departs, and then 8 a.m. is when it arrives. So if you know if you've ever been on a cruise before, when it says departs at 3:30, that really means that they start boarding at noon. So you want to get somebody a flight somewhere around where they're arriving around like 10 to 11-ish. So you don't want them arriving any later than 12, because they have to get from the airport to the port to make sure that they're boarding the ship and everything, and that takes time. Okay, so typically I like to give them at least a 3-hour kind of time span to account for traffic, to account for delays in the flights. And then also, when it comes to boarding the ship, a lot of people are going to be boarding and everything. That's going to take time as well. So you want to give them at least a 3-hour time span, so that way they can allow time to get for that. With that being said, when I'm looking for these flights, I'm not going to set anything sooner than arrival. I'm not going to set an arrival any later than noon. So that way she can have enough time to really get to the port on time. So go ahead and look. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's go ahead and look at what they gave me. Now, also, this is a personal preference, but normally I do not book with this airline. However, with the qualifying and the situation I have at hand, this is going to be the one that I'm going to be using possibly, because of, the kind of budget that we're working with, and, other factors as well. She said she didn't mind what kind of airline we're going to be using. So I'm a pretty much break my own rule, but you as an agent have that, you have that choice to decide, if, hey, there's a service that's going to be coming with this, you want to make that decision that's going to be best for your client, but also making sure that you're fulfilling their wishes as well. Because, what my personal experience and thoughts are, that might necessarily apply to your client. So you want to make sure you're kind of finding a happy medium in between the two. To kind of make sure they're having the best experience, and you're, doing what you say you're going to do for them. So I'm going to keep this at Newark, because I don't know if you guys saw that there were 600 flights to pick from. I just dropped it by a lot just by clicking that only. And then also I'm going to change these times. So I'm not so much worried about the takeoff, but I am worried about the arrival. Oh, wait. Takeoff from NCO. Oh, okay, so this is going to be when they're leaving. That is 8 a.m. So again, giving them about 3 hours. So I would say take off around, I'll say, I'll give it to like 12. Because that, same kind of deal when you're boarding the ship, it takes some time, coming off of the ship as well. And then landing in MCO, this is what I was looking for right here. No earlier than 12. All right. And as you see here, that dropped it down to 47. So that's a lot more feasible when you're doing your research, finding the filters, what works for you. So that way, you know the parameters that you're looking in. And then if you really want to, you can also look at the different airlines as well, that if you have preferences and stuff. I'm not going to do that on this one, but normally I would filter those out as well. So anything that has a +1D on there, that's 1 day. So that means it's an overnight flight. I'm already ruling out. So I'm not even worried about looking at these because that's not going to work. They're going on the cruise. She can't go, arrive the next day. She has to be there at that same day. So I'm going to keep on scrolling until I find one that doesn't have an overnight on there. And I'm sure there's a way to, okay, here's one. 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, I like those times. And then 6:15 to 9:01. All right, and they're both nonstop. Okay, so that's feasible. She'll arrive in time. She has enough time to get to her port, and she has a lot more time too, as well, to kind of play around in Orlando a little bit before her flight. So I'm not mad at that. Let me see what another one is, just in case. There's another one, and this one is later. Okay, so we're gonna stick with this one. So I'm gonna select this one. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and click on Add Travel Protection Plan. So that way I have the most updated pricing that I can give to them. And right here, because it's Evo Aurors, it says prices quoted in USD is included of taxes and fees. Okay, so that's already included within that price point. So we have all this on here. I have the flight information for both, and then I have the pricing. Now I said that you can have an option for wholesale pricing, right? This is where that comes in. When it comes to flight onlys, you don't actually have pricing included in that. So because I'm not able to package this flight with the cruise, I am going to put this at a different charge. So typically per person, I add on $25 for this. So that's what I'm going to incorporate when I put in the total quote on my Travefy. And just basically how I'm going to do this when it comes to booking, I'm just going to say, hey, the total amount that you're going to see on you're going to see 3 charges in this case, because she's doing the Carnival one, she's doing the flight one, and then also my service fee. Okay, so you're going to see 3 charges on your card. 2 of them are going to be from the vendor, and then the $25 is a non-refundable wholesale fee for the prices of the flights. Okay, because I got your flights on a deal, and it was a wholesale. Okay, so if you want to pay the full price, you can. If you want to just charge it 2 cards, you could pay the whole price. It'll just be, you'll just lose out on a discount type of thing. Okay, so somewhere along those lines, you don't want to, over explain it too much, but just along the lines of saying, hey, this is my wholesale fee, is non-refundable. And that's just to get you those discounts on those flights that I got you. Okay. So let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. I'm gonna just have this for the final product. So I'm gonna keep this up here, and it's flight NK 1250. So I'm going back to Travefy. I'm gonna hit new event, flight, and then I'm gonna add the airline information. info, bam, add itinerary. And now all that information is already built in. The flight number, the arrival time, I didn't have to put anything. The terminal is in there. And then once you confirm and everything, you're able to add the seats and stuff too. So that's why I really like it. It makes my life a whole lot easier, especially when you're using VAX too. There's a way to email your, like how you do the email print itinerary and VAX, you're able to link that to Travefy and it'll just convert the whole itinerary to Travefy for you. So very useful, and it saves a lot of time when it comes to building your quotes. And this one is 1,400. All right, so bam, I have that on there. And then Saturday is there. So because this is a fun day at sea, I might just add in a like random activity. Like a spa day or something like that. Just to kind of fill in, that emptiness there. You can just put some ideas that they want to do. Maybe like an entertainment show. Excuse me. And this is just to fill in the blanks because everything else is so detailed. You don't want to leave this kind of blank. All right. So it's just giving them ideas on what they can be doing on the ships. All right. So I'm about to go back to quick quote. And now I'm going to add my pricing. So this is my total here for the cruise. So that's 2022.80 plus, oops, no, go back, let me go back. Plus the 313, what was it? 73 plus the 25. And that will be the total. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna write on my total here. Then you can go into detail of what's included. So this proposal consists of Carnival cruise itinerary, flights from Newark to Orlando, and optional activities on Sicily. Write something on those lines for 4 people. I'll say for 4 adults. And then I always do a please note, because whenever I'm adding optional tours, I don't actually include that in the pricing. Unless they confirm it and book it, then I'll change the pricing and add that on there. Activities are not included in the pricing. Just so that they know. And then you can change it if they are a group and they're paying per person, you could switch it on a per person price point. Or if you just want to do a total, you can do that as well. I'm gonna save the changes. I'm gonna attempt to change this one more time. I'm gonna choose a different picture. Let's see if it was the picture. Let's do this one. Still nothing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, um, and then now the itinerary is built. Okay, so the really cool thing about this too is when you're collecting your contact information, your client's contact information, you can put this in here and then send it directly to them. So if I want to email my clients, I just type in their name and write a custom message. It'll also automatically CC it to myself unless I choose not to. And then it'll email that itinerary for me. If I want to preview what it looks like, so see what they see, it's gonna have this approved proposal so they can decide if they like it or if they don't. It has my branding, my information, my contact information, and then this is what the actual proposal is going to look like on their end. So the message I put on there is going to be right here, and then the itinerary is going to be listed at the bottom. So as you see, it fills in that day. It has all the contact information, and then they can see the itinerary. And if they like it, if they don't, they can directly message me about the trip right here, and it'll have all that information for me. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's one of the quickest ways where you can create a quote or a proposal using Travefy. Again, it's a very amazing platform. I really like it personally, but just keep in mind, it is something that you do have to pay for. Okay, so make sure before you are starting with those kind of platforms like this, that you're in a position to maintain it per month, because you do have to pay for this and you don't want to be spending out money first before you're making money. But if you have it, then definitely go ahead and look into using Travefy. Like I said, it's a very user-friendly platform to use, especially for travel agents, and the customer service is really cool as well. If this was helpful, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like the video, let me know in the comments section. I am going to be doing some more of these using Travefy as well, with different kinds of trips and different things that you can use for them. This one is the first cruise example. So the next time I'm going to be doing one using Vax, and then of course, Room Res, all the different vendors that we have. So you guys can really see how you can expand and use this platform for your business. Okay. Again, my name is Sarabi. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Ciao.